Today's video is about how much does it cost to clean a property like this. We're going to take you on a journey today. We're going to explain the machineries, the chemicals, how we clean the roofs, but more importantly, how we get to the price we charge to clean these roofs. So come with us today, and at the end of this video, you will get the price we charged to clean this roof. So we talk about access on jobs, and our access is all done by our spider cherry pick. And the reason we use one of these predominantly is for our safety. So we've got a safe working platform, but also for your safety while we're at the property. We don't use ladders on your roof. We don't climb on your roof. You know, everything is done with safety in mind. But there is a cost value to that. You know, the problem is with these machines, brand new, this 20 metre machine is £82,000. This one cost us just under £60,000. We bought a second-hand machine, a good machine, but a second-hand machine. But it's £60,000. The trailer that it comes on is £5,000. Then you need a machine to pull it. You need a truck to pull it, the workhorse, because of the weight. There's another £40,000 there. So just in our own setting up safe and giving us a safe working platform, there's a massive cost already. You know, and this is all goes into, we're not just removing the moss. You know, we've got to operate this safely. We've got to be safe. This machine needs to be serviced every year, and it needs to have a LOLA, a lifting certificate, where somebody comes out and inspects this. They spend probably the best part of 5 hours inspecting the machine to make sure it's safe for us to go in it and work. That costs us probably £400–500 just for the LOLA inspection. You know, £200–300 for a service. There's £1,000 in running costs just to make sure it's safe for us to use it. So you can see where we're going with this and how we get to our price. But we'll go through the day and we'll take you through everything, and then you'll understand why the price of this property is what it is. Okay, so the process with this, how do we get to the price? That's what this video is about, is how do we get to a price. So this customer of this property came to us through an online inquiry. We then spoke to the customer, we came out, pardon me, I surveyed the property. I'm checking for access, I'm checking for issues, I'm checking for any hazards, overhead power cables. I'm making sure that we can clean it safely and professionally. I meet the customer, I answer all the questions, I tell them how we're going to do it, because we don't use water. This is a new technology, see, because people are now, they're wising up to people jet washing roofs and walking all over roofs. So we don't do that, as we've spoken about in other videos. We use an air system, which we'll show you later on in the video, to clean the roof safely. So we come out, we meet the customer, we answer all the questions, we reassure them what we're doing is safe and we're professional. I do a full site survey, and then we give the customer the price of the job. And then that allows the customer to make the decision either there and then and book it in, or we then follow up in writing, put it all in writing, and then they can come back to us and book it in. We are at the moment about a 12-week lead time, so it doesn't happen. You can't get me out tomorrow and then get your roof clean done the next day. It's about a 12-week lead time. It's explained to the customer that on booking, we take a 20% deposit. That's to allow us to buy the chemicals and secure those dates we've given the customer. This is a one-day clean, this property. There'll be 2 of us cleaning it, and it's a one-day clean. So that's the start of the process. And all that obviously builds into the cost, because I've got to come out here, I've got to meet the customer. It's time out of our day to survey it, write the office to write it all up, and X, Y, and Z. And that's where we are. We're going to get to work now, and we'll take you along. We'll show you the clean, and we'll keep showing you the bits of equipment, the chemical tank, the compressors, the heads, the brushes, and it's all building up to the price of this clean. So following on with the cost of a house clean is, these are the machines we use. We use the Cobra machines. These generate a constant cold airflow to allow us to remove the moss in the safest manner. We don't jet wash, we don't use water, we use an air system, but these come as a cost. These machines are £4,500 each. So just sat here, there's nearly £10,000 in machines to do the job. So now you're starting to get a picture. 60 grand's worth of cherry picker, 10 grand's worth of air compressors. Then we go on to the poles and the heads. The poles alone are another £400-500 each. We have 4 or 5 in the van. The heads, a couple of £100. The wire brushes we use, a couple of quid. Everything starts to add up. You know, so to do it safely and professionally already, we're now up to what, 60, 70, £70,000. We've not even spoke about the chemical tank, which I'll show you in a minute. We've got the chemical tank, we've got the chemicals, we've got all the hand tools, the leaf blowers, everything now just starts adding up to that. If I take you to the back of the van, and I'll show you the chemical tank that we have in here as well. So once we've removed the moss with the air system, then we have our built-in 400 litre chemical tank with hose reel built in. It's all digital, so we can turn it on. We can set the pressure to deliver the chemicals, and that's all. We can set the pressure with the wind if we're going to brush it or we're going to spray it on. If we need more chemicals, we can increase that. But this machine alone, just to store the chemicals safely and to allow us to deliver the chemicals safely, this machine was, this one was about £4,000 for that. So once again, we're now building up. It's housed with all our accessories, all our running boards. We have ladders in here, we have all the poles in here. We have the Gutter Vacs system. I'll take you around to the side and show you the Gutter Vacs system. So in here now we've got a Gutter Vacs system, which is another £2,500. So as you can see now, we're now getting close to about £80,000. That's without the van. That's without the van and the pickup. You know, and if we add the van and the pickup into it, we're now around about, I would say about £120,000, £130,000 just in equipment before we even start doing the job. Just in equipment. So in equipment alone, £120,000, £125,000, £130,000 just in equipment to make sure that we're safe and your property is looked after absolutely spot on. This isn't a ladder and a wire brush. This is a professional roof cleaning setup done safely. So there you go. That's the equipment that we carry, and that's the cost of the equipment. We'll go later on into the video and we'll talk about our training, the office staff, our labour, our expenses, or the marketing, everything behind the scenes, and then we'll tell you the price of this roof clean. Even this costs me lunch, me crisps. Everything adds up to the price of the job, doesn't it? Everything's got a cost. And this is what I think people forget. They think, oh, you're just removing a bit of moss from the roof, it ain't going to cost that much. And I hear it all the time. I go to a lot of quotes, I speak to a lot of people every day about the price of roof cleans. And they say, oh, it should only be £200-300. Man, where'd you get the £200-300 from? It costs a fortune. It costs a fortune in equipment. But there you go. Anyway, it's lunchtime. I'll see you after lunch. Anyway, just to carry on with the costs. So we're about 125, 130,000 in everything you can see here now. That doesn't take into consideration the marketing, the advertising, insurances, our qualifications, our training, any repairs, any breakdowns. We've got Tessa in the office 40 hours a week, running all the administration, all the bookings, all the servicing, all the customer care, doing all that. Then you've got my salaries, you've got Keith's salaries, we've got holiday pay, we've got everything that goes in. So you can see this is now ramping up, probably north of 200,000, you know. So there is a thing that when everyone thinks that roof cleaning is cheap, there is people that will do it cheap. If you want it done professionally, you know, it comes at a cost, because everything we do to make sure that we're professional, we're on point, we're safe, the vehicles are serviced, the cherry pickers are serviced, all the air systems are serviced and safe, and everything works as it needs to be. Everything comes at a cost. We haven't even spoke about fuel for the vehicles. Fuel's up 192 now for diesel. Astronomical, isn't it? So that's where we are. So I was going to swing you around. We finished this roof now. We're just loading up, and then we're going to hand over. It's all done and dusted. So I'm hoping that this now has give you an insight into how much roof cleaning costs. Now we've broken everything down for you, the whole lot, the vehicles, the plant, the chemicals, the whole shebang has all been broken down. And then we come to a price for this property. So this is a large 4-bed detached with a double garage, flat tiles, not overly mossy. And we've done all the normal things. We've done all the moss removal, we've done all the chemical treatments, we've done all the gutters, we've done all the soffits, fascias, we've done all the windows, and we've cleaned up everywhere, and we're going to hand it over in about 2 minutes time. But the bit you've been waiting for is the price. A property like this is anywhere between £1,000 and £2,400 plus the VAT, and that's where it is. That is the price for roof cleaning. You ain't going to get much change out of that. And each property, depending on the tiles and the amount of moss, because we've got to get rid of the moss, we've got to take that to landfill, and that's another cost. So you can see. Anyway, that's me, enough rambling on. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, share, comment. If you want to see anything in particular, then let us know and we'll get it on the next one. But that was an insight to how much does roof cleaning cost? Or should I say, how much does professional roof cleaning cost? Until the next one, stay safe.